I want to like Fumihiko. I really do want to like this guy, but I don't know. I just feel like it's like usual with these types of series. Like usual with, shonen series that try to get really dark is they always put them in the worst timing. Like their timing always sucks. Like what can we stop this? Like can we stop putting things in where it shouldn't be? We just got done with Megumi legit just slicing a dude's head open. He offed a guy right there, and he's just splattering the blood around and just walking on saying, I gotta stop messing around. I gotta start shaping up. My whole situation with my sister. I got point transferring, all this kind of crap. Yuji over here is handling crap. Like, he just got notification that literally Yuji has handled the whole situation with Hikamura. He's gotta, move on to something else. He's gotta shape up. And then goofy guy shows up out of nowhere. He's showing his junk off. He's doing all these goofy poses. He's doing the worst comedy bits. The joke is, and this is why he kind of is entertaining and it's kind of fun that you want to like this guy. He's a failed comedian. And the joke is that he sucks at it. The joke is that he sucks at it. And you see all the characters kind of just standing around kind of going, what was that joke? That's the joke. That's the bit. The whole initial introduction of him, and literally everybody's trying to figure out what to do. I thought that was 45 seconds of literally sitting there staring at him. Everybody, both sides of the battlefield are like, what? What do we do with this? What do we do with this situation? He's funny. It's funny in that regard, but again, I go back to I can't accept him because of it's just the show. It sometimes bothers me, the show itself, Jujutsu Kaisen itself, shonens in general itself. They love just putting these things in the worst timing, and it messes with things. It messes with the feel. And I acknowledge that that's probably the purpose of the writer. They're like, yeah, it was a bit heavy. Joke. Joke. Throw this right here. Anyways, he's pretty cool. I do have to admit, Fumihiko is pretty damn cool. Massively, massively OP. This guy just takes an explosion to the face, tries to, brush it off, standing there again, everybody kind of just staring at him like, what's going on? Seemingly very quickly attaches to Megumi, acknowledges the fact that he's being, 2 against 1. It was 3 against 1 before, but acknowledging this guy is kind of being beaten up and wants to kind of join in with them, being the entertainer that he is. He wants to back up Megumi. Megumi later on is like, I'm glad you're helping me out. Because yes, it kind of shows that this guy is massively OP. He awoken to some really incredible power. It seems like he has a strong control over cursed energy, accelerates very quickly. He powers up very quickly, just came out of nowhere, attacks. Throwing off somebody that, again, is an ancient sorcerer, throwing off them even so. It does seem like he's got a uphill battle ahead of himself in the fact that this guy that's able to, rip off parts of his body and turn them into explosives, he's able to do reverse techniques, so he's able to heal himself. Yeah, I kind of noticed that. I'm like, this guy must not last long if, literally everything he takes off his body explodes. Why does he still have an eyeball to throw? I would think that he'd be out by now. But no, he's able to heal himself, so I'm certain that Fumihiko, despite, going all out on him, is still going to keep him together. Now, here was the thing that I kind of questioned, was okay, Fumihiko, who is this comedian that just gets this power, comes in this situation, wants to help out Megumi. Why is this guy who has 0 points seemingly okay with the idea of killing somebody? Megumi just got done killing somebody. He's committed to it. Megumi has accepted this is something I'm going to have to do. He's willing to do that. But he tells Fumihiko, this comedian, hey, yeah, if you're going to kill the guy, or ask him for his points first, which is a good thing there, obviously, because, versus getting 5 points, you can get all their points if they have any more, which I forget exactly how much they said they had. But anyways, you can get his points first. And it seems like Fumihiko accepts this. All right, dude, I'll get those points before I kill him. He said something to the effect that he was an entertainer and that he's not willing to take away their smiles. So that kind of implies to me that Fumihiko isn't willing to kill the guy, but he's going to get his points from him first. But again, I want to accept this guy. He seems goofy. I'm afraid he might get annoying at some point. I think the writer did well with other, comedic characters like Todo. Todo, I like that character. So I'm hoping that with this character, they don't overdo it. In a lot of cases with these types of characters, they get annoying really quickly. But anyways, outside of Fumihiko, because there's a lot else in this episode, I guess the whole situation between Megumi and Reggie start. That being the gist of this entire episode, opening up with Megumi basically saying, hey, there's going to be a rule coming up. It's going to say, transfer your points. I want you to give me all of your points. Negotiations fall apart. They start fighting. Again, we get the introduction of the guy that's able to basically explode any part of his body. And also at some point, Reggie utilizing his power. Reggie's ability, I think, overall is really interesting, and I think we've only scratched the surface. Yes, Reggie is said to essentially be able to manifest what's on the receipts, but then Reggie clarifies that he's able to recreate contracts. And this is where I get like, wow, this is actually really cool if you think about it. Because again, this is a guy that's from another era. And I would assume that a lot of the contracts that he utilized back then as a sorcerer were things like, yes, a trip to a hot spring, a stay at a hot spring. Yeah, there's a lot of those happening back in the day, but very few of them are written or, spelled out. Now he's coming to our era. We do written contracts of everything. Like everything that we do has a written contract. Thousands upon millions of receipts are made every single day. And he's able to utilize those. Now, the question is it only ones that he had to gather himself? Did he go out and find all these receipts so that he can utilize them? I'm assuming so. He just took them all and just kind of attached them to his body, turned himself into this big feathered thing that looks dorky. But this is where I get into where I think this is probably only scratching the surface. Right here, he's like, yeah. He's got all these receipts. He's able to kind of throw them all at Megumi and essentially overpower him with just random objects that just completely engulf him. He says that he's able to treat them like Shigami, so he's able to give them simple commands, which is really also, make it even more terrifying. But again, where I think this is probably going to go, because now you have Megumi and he's doing his, domain expansion, which by the way, I hate the fact that we ended the episode on that. And I felt it coming. We're getting to the end of the episode. Unless Megumi is going to do something crazy and just end it there, we're going to probably end the episode with that domain expansion, sure enough. But yes, as Megumi is using his domain expansion, I think that Reggie Star is going to do something to overcome this. And I think what he's going to do, and again, this is where we're scratching the surface, he's probably going to get into pacts. Because typically, pacts are seen as contracts. And I'm wondering if he's going to recreate pacts, and these pacts being something even more incredible. I'm wondering. I think he's got something up his sleeve. The only thing that he's utilized so far is stays at a hot spring and, random objects like surfboards and stuff like that. No, this dude's going to whip out something crazy. And again, I think it's going to apply to specifically pacts, because pacts are contracts. Again, in my mind, when I hear contracts, I think of anything that is sort of an agreement between two people, and pacts is one of them. So we'll see. We'll see what kind of crazy thing he can end up pulling out here. I'm certain the fight's not over with Megumi just busting out his domain expansion. Again, he's saying that it's incomplete. Obviously, he has a lot of problems with the barriers and stuff like that. Reggie can possibly get out of it, though it doesn't specify that Megumi did it specifically in this gymnasium so that he can kind of get around that, but we'll see. But yeah, the fight overall, pretty decent. Again, Reggie using his abilities and whatnot. At some point, Remy trying to get Megumi to help her. This girl's still attacking him, saying, well, if you don't want me to attack you, then say you'll protect me. Reggie said it, so say you'll protect me. He's like, people like you, just scum that act or just all talk or whatever. Yes, of course, at some point, Kogane pops up and says there's a new rule that was created. I think Megumi realized that point that, Yuji figured it out. If there's a new rule that's been applied, we had the agreement that we're going to make this rule, so he must have found Higuruma. Later on, he does look up with using, Kogane, information about Higuruma. So that's, I think, the point in which he realized that Yuji did go find him specifically, that he made some sort of agreement with him because he got the guy to spend the points, get the rule. So Yuji must have, won the guy over. But that pretty much gave him the cue. I don't need to be here anymore. The whole reason I'm here is to find Higuruma. Obviously, Yuji found out first. Time to move on. Time to go find out where he's at and move on. Though interesting, despite the fact that he got the 5 points, which again, he could utilize in order to help out his sister, he doesn't necessarily need to get more points. He's still trying to gain more points. And yes, technically he does want to accumulate more so he can add more rules, but kind of going out of his way in order to get points from Reggie and all them was interesting. He does say at some point that, hey, if you just back off now, I'll move on, whatever. The fight overall, though, really awesome. Got some overflooding of stuff at some point. Reggie just surfboarding through it. There was one little oddity point in there though, because at some point Reggie's going up these stairs on his surfboard and then he throws something into the window and he goes into this office space right there. And that brief little shot where he's flying through the glass, you could see the copier behind him that's in the room, and it's almost twice his size. I'm get a little bit of scale issue there. For a brief moment, I thought Reggie used some ability to make himself smaller or something like that. Or maybe he just entered a giantess office space. I don't know. But yeah, that was a little bit of a goof up there. Using a stapler and like making all the little things to grab onto the walls was kind of interesting as well. I think I find Reggie's ability to be very interesting and unique. It's similar to Higuruma. Like Higuruma is like, it's an oddity that he's creating this courtroom and you're winning through discussion. With Reggie, he's having to quick think, okay, here's this receipt. It does this. I can utilize this receipt here. I'm surprised the dude can keep track of all that damn stuff on him to know here's this the thing. I need this one right here. No, oh, that was the surfboard right there. But yeah, obviously the elephant in the room here. There was elephants in the room several times. Beside that elephant, Megumi using his domain expansion, it just kind of panning out Chimera's Shadow Garden. I'm really looking forward to seeing that actually utilized. But again, like I said, unfortunately, gotta wait until next episode. Gotta wait until next episode. With a like bad stopping point. But anyway, that's my thoughts on the episode 57 of Jujutsu Kaisen. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, hit the like button down below. If you like this content, you want to support the channel more, become a member. Until next time, you'll take care.